Aaron Tuttle here for Ferguson Roof Systems. For 43 years, Ferguson Roof Systems has been protecting Oklahoma's homes and businesses with quality roofing services. Their goal was to be the most honest and dependable roofing company in the state, all while providing free services such as lifetime labor warranty and annual inspections. Well, mission accomplished with thousands of client testimonials, an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, and a 5-star rating on Google. Look, the weather gives you enough to worry about, so why worry about who to trust with your roof? Call Ferguson Roof Systems today or find out more at fergusonroofsystems.com.
I was late to my own party. I was reading your comments. Your music made your dog turn your head. It was awesome. Anyway, hey, and I already got some stars thrown at me. So Carrie, she just threw me 50. Thank you, Carrie. Heather just threw me 150. Carrie sent another 50. Tommy's in the house of 50. Jennifer's in the house of 150. Tommy back with another 50 and another 50. And Heather back with 100. Tommy back with 50. Oh my goodness. Sarah's in the house of 50. Melinda's in the house of 100 stars. I think you guys would actually like snow. And I think you like talking about snow. And I think you like good news. You know, the world's had about enough bad news for 2020, so let's have some good news. Tommy just now threw in 545 stars. Corrine's at 150. You guys are going nuts in here. Lewis is in the house. Luis 150. Let's see. Chris at 150. They're going so fast. Kylie's in the house with 150. Lindsay's 150. Sue's 150. Jamie's 50. Kelly's 150. Celeste's 150. Man, you ladies are awesome tonight. Jamie's in the house of 50. Lisa's got 150. Brittany's got 150. Amy's got 150. Jonathan's checking in at 150. Brenton's checking in at 150. Whoa, I'm going to do these snow forecasts more often. You guys like snow, don't you? That's awesome. Brenton's in the house with another 150. Oh my goodness. Kelly, Angie, Matt, all of you checking in at 150 tonight. Kristen's back again at 150. Just can't stop. Get it all done at once. No doubt. Eric's in the house. Michael's in the house. We'll just pause for another 60 seconds for star shooting. Danny's in the house throwing out 150 stars as well. Tasha's in the house 150. Brad 150. Steven, my boy, 50. Let's see, Bradley another 100, Patty's 150, Amanda's 150, Aaron Smith at 150, Matthew's at 378 because you got to have an odd ball number scheme in there. Dolly's in the house at 150, I love it. Misty's got 200 stars, and my goodness, we are going to get to the weather, but it is a Saturday night, so it's not like you got anything better to do, right? Besides that, what I have to tell you, you're going to love, so just stick around. Kelly's in the house at 150. Stephanie 150. So if you don't know what they're doing, they're playing the Stars game. It's right next to where you put in a comment. Christina's in the house of 50. Manny's 150. Charles is 800 stars. Charles just came out of nowhere. Bam, in your face. Steve's in there 150. Cassie 150. Crystal 150. Janine 150. Deborah 100. Denise 150. Oh my goodness. We can do this all night. Brian 150. Annie 50. Aaron 200 stars. Thomas 150 stars. So, for those of you folks that are kind of new, hadn't watched me in a while, Facebook turned on stars for my Facebook account because I really think I must do a good job. So, they allow you to get some stars and throw them my way if you'd like. Kristen's in the house of 50, Philip 101, Jennifer 150, Jill 150, Melinda 150. Oh my goodness, this is hysterical. You guys are awesome. So, yes, I'm wearing my medium shirt, David. Todd 150, Jessica 150. Sierra back to 150. Crystal's back to 100. Scott another 150. Carol 150. Tracy 150. This 150 is all over the place. Steve's in the house of that. Karen, Brandon. Let's see. Shelly 150. All of you 150. Lots of love tonight. So thank you for appreciate that. Karen at 150 as well. You guys, Ashley at 150. Steve, April, Laura, Greta, all thrown out 150. Darius got 150. Jeremy's got 150. Raquel's 150. I really gotta listen. I gotta do some weather, or the masses are gonna get upset. But thank you for doing the stars. Crystal's got the clapping hands at 500 stars. Oh my goodness, I love those clapping hands. Okay, so let's do this. I know you guys are waiting for the good stuff. So it's 9:30. Let's get this party into motion. You guys keep shooting me all the stars you like. I just won't be able to give you a shout out because I got to look at the maps here. But what we have is the upper level disturbance out here across Colorado. So this is what we're talking about, this big batch of clouds in the water vapor channel. And what happens is, let me move that down a little bit so I'll clear this out. So you can see the kind of a little rotation to this cloud deck. So this is all the energy in the atmosphere. This is all the lift, all the moisture, producing some cloud cover overhead. And that's what's going to be coming our way here for tonight. So I am totally excited. Now, there is a winter storm warning issued by the National Weather Service up here in northwest Oklahoma from Enid to Watonga to Clinton, Elk City, to Alva, Gage, Woodward. So, and then we've got a winter weather advisory. We're also rest in this purple shading from Bartlesville, Tulsa, Muskogee, down to about Ada, Duncan, just north of Lawton, and then to Altus. So the difference is the purple area is just, you're going to get some winter precipitation, whereas the pink area is you're going to get a lot of precipitation. Now, I differ in this. I think we'll get just as much here in central Oklahoma as we're going to get out here, and we'll take a look at that here in a minute. What does that mean? You know what it means. Good stuff. All right, so here's a look. Remember the upper level low pressure system we talked about? It's out here across New Mexico by the time we head into tomorrow morning. So again, that's about 12 hours from now. So this will be the location of it. And it's going to drift eastward right across the Red River and then back through central Arkansas and out it goes. So it's a perfect ideal track for good snow across the chunk of Oklahoma. And you get some heavy snow at that with the way things we have right now. I see you, Michael, 1,125 stars. You're awesome, brother. So what's going to happen? Let's put this to midday on Sunday. The upper level low is tight. It's small. It's confined. It's down here, southwestern tip of Oklahoma on into Texas. And it's closed off, which hadn't been done in the prior model data, which means that it's strengthened. In other words, the models think the sky is even stronger than what they originally had it, which is good for us because that just typically produces more precipitation. This is in the mid of the afternoon. The low has moved into this position just south of Ardmore, right along the Red River. And then finally, one more after that. We'll just go to 24 hours out. So I'll take it to tomorrow afternoon and evening, see how it continues over east central Oklahoma down in northern Texas. So that's really all the take home you need to know from that. Now, what does it produce? And that moves on in. Let's take a look at the timeline. So here we go. We got snow coming in around midnight across the northwest part of the state on into the Panhandle in Kansas, southwest Kansas at that. As we head into 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, do you see this lovely blue? Do you know what that is? That's more of that snow. It's expanding eastward to Ponca City, Stillwater, Oklahoma City, and back into just north of Lawton. Kind of a rain-snow mix trying to develop down there in Lawton. You guys, still might be a chilly rain at that point. That's at 5 o'clock in the morning. Here's 6 o'clock in the morning. A lot more rain and snow mixed down here in the purple shading for the Lawton area. Meanwhile, plenty of blue here in Oklahoma City. That means we've transitioned over to all snows. We head into the early morning hours. There's 7 a.m. Tulsa is starting to get a little rain-snow mix at 7 a.m. As we head into 8 a.m., 9 a.m., you've changed over to all snow in Tulsa. Muskogee starting to see some rain-snow mix around 9 o'clock in the morning. And even the south side from Oklahoma City, once you get south to Norman, to Paoli, Pauls Valley, you're getting that rain-snow mix at 9 a.m., and so is Lawton down to Altus. You see that purple line, that's where the mixture goes back and forth between rain and snow as the temperature profile kind of hovers just enough to get some both mixed going back and forth. The rest of the state in all that glorious blue. So let's see, we'll go into the noon hour. You can see how it's progressed to the east and down to the south, so Lawton full-fledged snow. Still hadn't quite snowed in Ardmore at this point in time at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but McAllister's getting snow. And, of course, Muskogee, Fort Smith, you guys up there in Arkansas. As we head into 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Ardmore gets some snow. How about that? Then it starts to taper off here in Oklahoma City. And then it starts to push out of the state here as we head to 5 and 6 o'clock hours. So there is your timeline, and there are your areas of snow. If you will notice, down here in southeast Oklahoma, the rain-snow line, look at that. Just this little tip right here may not see any snow. The rest of the state is going to see snow. I love it. I wish every snow event would be like this. I know some of you going, Aaron, shut your face. But I'm telling you, I like snow. Now, we're not done with it. I know what you're thinking. Aaron, shut up. No, I'm telling you, we're not done. We got another snowstorm coming. So let's take a look at how that looks. I'm going to go to this guy here. All right, so the first moves through. Let's go take a look at the second. What track does that have? Would you look at that? Another track right here across the central part of the state. And this is on Tuesday afternoon. Now the center of it is right about here. Other models will vary, and we're still early in the game, so it could easily slide south again. But that does mean if it's in the central part, the heavier snows will be just north and west of this particular track for us in the States. That means heavier snow should fall in the northwestern quadrant, but we'll still get some light snow here in central Oklahoma. And as that moves on out, it'll take the snow with it. Now, it's going to be difficult to see on the maps right now how much snowfall will occur, but I'm going to do a 12-hour QPF. We're going to convert it on the fly. So let's go here. So here's your 12. Let's do 24-hour. Where are we? Right here. Yeah, this will be easier. Okay, so 24-hour out. That's 2/10, 3/10 here in central Oklahoma to northern Oklahoma, and then there's that little bullseye about 5/10. So if you were just take roughly a 10-to-1 ratio, snow ratio, 10 parts to 1, in other words, for every 1/10 of an inch of water, it's 1 inch of snow. So that would be 2 inches of snow here in Oklahoma City, 3 inches in Stillwater. That'd be about 5 inches up around Woodward. So that's kind of how that would work. So in other words, you're looking at another 1 to 5 inches of snow across the state on Tuesday as that little system moves through. So we'll deal with that later. We'll see if it still holds. I mean, it started showing up in the data yesterday, and today it looks really good. So we'll see what tomorrow does. But meanwhile, let's get on with what we're going to see. So the European model, the ensemble run, has a confidence factor for 3 inches plus of snow. And it's got about an 80 to 92% chance of more than 3 inches of snow here in Oklahoma City and Canadian County. I'll take that. If I was a betting man in Vegas, I'd let it all ride. Now, in western Oklahoma, it's got 100%. Easy. No problem. And check this out. If you guys up in northern Arkansas, with that cold air that dams in from the Ozarks up here in the northwest, you guys can get some pretty decent snow out of that. Unfortunately, about Fort Smith, you got the river and all that stuff up there plays a big factor in snowfall. So if you live in that area, your local guys will have a better idea on exact snowfall totals because they're more familiar with the terrain than I am, because I don't live in that area, so I don't pay too much attention to the orographic lifting and the barriers and all that stuff. I just know that cold air damming, this is a common outcome when that does occur. All right, so in other words, the model's excited. You know, the probability of it seeing some really good snow is on the table. Now, this is good news for us. The ensemble runs here in Oklahoma City, they've gone up every run. So their average right now, this is the average, is running at about 3.5 inches of snow. On average. Now, some of the models are way higher than that. Here's a stupid one at 11 inches of snow. That's not going to happen. 10 inches of snow. There's 3 of them there, but there are several in the higher end category above 5. And there are, of course, I will say, there are a few in the low end category too. Low end meaning 1 to 2. I'm throwing those out. I like the idea of the 3 to 5 for Oklahoma City area. Just kind of give you an idea. So those are many models and many ensembles of those models. All look pretty good. Let's do this on the timeline. This takes a little bit more to the east in Arkansas, just to show you how northwestern Arkansas will be getting that snow. It's in the blue, and how you got that rain snow mix around Fort Smith, and then the rest of Arkansas just kind of that cold rain, because the system kind of loses its punch and loses the cold air to work with. So there's not a whole lot to produce more snow in that state, but at least you'll get some in the west and also up to the north before all is said and done. And I showed you in my blog earlier today the mean snowfall for this event, which was actually pretty impressive. For a large area, the body, if I go down here the scale right here on the dark blue is 4 to 6 inches of snow. So that's a mean of all the models. And you see that 4 to 6 inches of snow is roughly eastbound I-40, up to the north, back out to the west. It's a large chunk of the state with some pockets there. And this is kind of an average. In other words, there'll be some less, but there'll be some with more, which means we're in good shape. Okay, so let's move on to what the European thought the snowfall amounts should be for tomorrow. Now, it's gone up a little. It's possible, but it's got a little bullseye here. West central Oklahoma, 6 inches of snow. This is in Canadian County and to the southwest a little bit, and back up toward Kingfisher and up toward Woodward. So that jives with the forecast we had last night. Now down here, it does have quite a bit more snow in southwest Oklahoma toward Lawton. Now, that's the question mark there. I don't know. It might have got a little excited. We'll see. And then it's got that heavier batch here in northwestern Arkansas and kind of everywhere else in between, various numbers. We're going to get to more of that here in a second. So here's our high resolution model when it adds up the snow for the hour. Takes into account some melting. And it takes into account like the fact we're going to have some temperatures that are going to be roughly around 33 or 34 degrees in the afternoon. But it's got these little mesoscale boundaries that produce heavier rounds of snow. Like there's one there. As a matter of fact, let me do this. It would kind of be like there's one there. It's like little deformation zones. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. Now they're not going to be able to tell the exact track, but what the model says they're going to be out there. And when you do get underneath those heavy bands, you can get some really good totals of 6 inches or something. Whereas you travel just a few miles away from that and you drop back down to a more of an average of 3 to 4, which is what a lot of the model data has here across the state. You can see the 2-inch line runs from around McAllister back down to probably about Paul's Valley and then back toward Lawton. That's why I was saying the Lawton. I didn't quite buy the European model for that. Too much snow down there. The a little over 2 inches looks more ideal to me because remember some of this will melt and you're kind of in the warmer air. But even looks good for eastern Oklahoma. You guys in Tulsa, northeast Oklahoma, a little lull up here in the corner. You know, you got the old 1 to 3 inch deal. But I mean, look at that, folks. Look how much the state is seeing some really good snow. Now, if we zoom in, just kind of give an idea on totals, this is just a model output that'll try to literally be specific. It will never work, but it kind of just gives you the idea of how things can vary. So in Tulsa, it's got 4 inches on the east side. You know, it was at 3.5 on the west side of town, 3.8 there on the south side. So it's going about 3 to 4 inches here in Tulsa. Now in central Oklahoma, it ranges quite a bit. Lighter in the southeast and more in the northwest. According to the scale, that's anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of snow once you get into the purple. Even up here in northern Oklahoma, northwest of Stillwater, it's got a big time purple reading up around 8 inches of snow. That would be ridiculous. And then, of course, some of those little pockets out here in northwest Oklahoma. And, of course, we know that can happen. Now, if we were to really zoom in Oklahoma City, just kind of give you an idea, 4 inches, 4.1, 3.5, 4.7, 3.8, 3.9. So, again, that's not reality. It just gives you a show that there's going to be a spread. And it just depends on where the mesoscale boundary is set up. Like, obviously, it thinks the boundary is going to set up north and west of town. And so when it does, out here in El Reno westward, that's 6.5 inches of snow, for example, on that boundary, it thinks. Here's a little spot of purple. So you're going to get some good snows here in central Oklahoma for a few of you. Roadways, will they melt or will they be all snowy? We'll get to that here in just 2 seconds. So here's a look at the European model ensemble panel. I've been showing this to you for the last few nights. In other words, you move the model 50 different directions. They all love this snow. Not a single one says no snow. And it's rare in this part of the world to get this much unanimous output. It's crazy. But it loves this is for Oklahoma City. It loves the range. Really, I'm seeing the numbers 4 and 5 pop up all the time. So it's loving that 4 to 5 inch range here in the Oklahoma City metro area. Now, when we get to, this is for Sunday and Monday, so it's got 5 here on the average at the bottom. Now, once we add in Tuesday, which will be Tuesday right here to Wednesday, in that little time, it kicks back up. So all these now, they change colors in the purple, that adds another 2 inches of snow. So it's going to top us out at 7 for this whole double event for the 7-day period. But you can't look at it that way. You gotta start back at 0. So really, this is going to be like 2 inches of snow for central Oklahoma is the way the model is looking. Now it does have these little red lines. Those are much higher. I mean, those are 3, 4, 5 more inches of snow. And that's ridiculous, but we'll see. So I'll take another couple inches, but that's what we have to look forward to on Tuesday, which we'll discuss about a little bit later. The temperature's going to be cold. Several of the models are indicating really cold on Monday morning into the teens. Not getting out of the 30s in the afternoon because of all the snow on the ground that still has to melt. And then, of course, Tuesday we're going to add to whatever snow hasn't melted And Wednesday's a cold day, but then we start to moderate things quite a bit as we head for the rest of the week on into next weekend and next week. So there's a look at how things ought to progress temperature-wise. And your town is going to be similar in this trend. I just picked Oklahoma City. We can look at the map view on the statewide for you guys want to see your town on this and give you an idea how temperatures will fare out. Now remember, tomorrow we're going to be into the, let's see, where are we? Sunday, 6 a.m. All right, so you notice how we're a couple of degrees above freezing. You're like, Aaron, how can it snow at 34 degrees? It's not freezing, right? It's not 32. So let's look at the sounding. I'm going to blow this up. We're going to blow it up. This is the vertical profile in the atmosphere, right? Okay, so what you have here, these two lines, temperature is in red, dew point in green. You see how they're close together the entire time? That means the atmosphere is saturated. Snow growth layer is up in this area with the dendritic growth zone. This little lines over here is all omega, which means all, oh, you can't see it on your side. But here, let me do this. Sometimes I have to move these things around so you can see. There we go. Got to show you everything, right? So all these little lines right here equals lift in the atmosphere. It's multiple layers. So that means we're causing lift in this entire saturated column of air. That just means lots of snow, folks. Good snow, too. Now, what happens is you get down here. By the way, this little dashed line, this little blue line that runs up, this is the 0 degrees Celsius line that runs right down here in the atmosphere on a profile sounding. All right, so in other words, this is just on a chart and we're trying to look at how cold things are. So everything left of this line is going to be below freezing. So you can see the whole lines are below freezing all the way down until where? Until right here. It says 33, and of course I think the map on one point said 34 degrees. So you're going, well, won't that melt? No. The good news is, let me see if I can really blow this up. Can I? Yeah. Really blow this up. Okay. We're just doing a little meteorology 101, a little teaching, a little school. You don't mind being in virtual class, do you? You haven't done that before. All right. So what happens is, now there's this little nudge right here, which is the first time I've seen it, a little bit of a warm nudge. You definitely do not want this warm nudge to get beyond this dashed line. If it does, it has a tendency to want to turn a lot of this snow back to rain. You don't want that to happen. So as long as it stays left of this dashed line, we're good. Now what happens is it's left this line, and then it just turns right here, probably in the last couple hundred feet off the ground. And that's why it can still snow at 33 or 34 degrees. Why? Because it hasn't had enough time from falling from 200 feet to the surface. That's not enough time for it to melt. And so that's why you can still get some really good snows at 33 to 34 degrees here in central Oklahoma. Now in a drier type environment, where you have more of a wet bulb factor, sometimes you get snow up around 36 degrees. That usually happens like in Colorado or something. But here for Oklahoma, for our intents and purposes, we like 33 for a good, wet, heavy snow. Good for snowmen making, snow women, snow kids, a whole snow family with a snow doggy. It works. All right, so now the travel conditions. So this is my website. This is aarontuttle.weather.com. You can spell out my name and or do a search on Google if you don't know how to spell my name. And then look for Aaron Tuttle Weather. And when you go to the Weather Data tab, you come down here to where it says Oklahoma Road Conditions. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to let this page load. Now, you can also get to this in my weather app, AT's Weather to Go. It's free. You can get it on Apple and Google Play. And what happens is you can track the real-time road conditions in your area, which is helpful, if you do have to do a little bit of driving. Because the question that many of you had was, hey, is it going to be messy? So on this map, you'll start to see all kinds of roads being closed or severe traveling. I just reloaded the page for some reason because I forgot I was already on the page. And my internet's dying because I'm broadcasting. Let's go back up here. Oh, by the way, I have the ground temperatures on here too. So there it says the 40s. So that's why a lot of the road's going to melt. The only way you can offset ground temperatures, soil temperatures into the mid 40s is to have a really heavy round of snow for a short window of time. That'll allow it to pack up on the roads a little bit and cause it to be slippery or a little treacherous if you're driving, especially if you don't have four-wheel drive or whatever. You've never driven the snow before. You might have some problems, but it's a very small window. It's going to be probably mid-morning to late morning for that best window for that to happen. But it may vary depending on where you live in the state, which is why you want to use this page for that information. But the roads will show you on also here on the city view. You can also see here in Oklahoma City. You can also do this for Tulsa, Lawton, Purcell, statewide as well. And all these little cameras, you can click on each of these little cameras, and it'll show you what it looks like from that viewpoint. And then that will help you out whenever you're traveling as to whether or not the roads look like they're snow covered. And you can do that on this map up here also that I just zoomed in on. You'll see trucker photos up here. Like here's one up here for around the Tulsa area. Let me close that. So it looks like it's just a dark picture, but you'd see a bunch of just road pictures once daylight hits tomorrow. So that kind of gives you an idea how you can get your real-time information, so you don't sit there and watch the news for 30 minutes and wait for them to get to the traffic part of it. You can get to the traffic part of it in 30 seconds and call it good. That was a mouthful. That was a total mouthful. You guys are still sending stars, by the way. I can see them out of the corner of my eye. Oh my goodness, did I hit 100,000? Woo! Or no, it says 0. What do you mean 0? How can it be 0? Anyway, I just saw on my phone, it popped up. It says, help Aaron get 100,000 stars. I'm pretty sure we're about at least halfway to that at this point. Okay, I'm looking. I was going to look at one more model that just came in while I was talking. But otherwise, I'm going to answer your questions here in a second. And then it was a Canadian model. I just want to see if it did anything unexpected. Let's put it that way. See if there's any new trends that's going to disappoint me or make me happy. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. That's the way it goes. Yeah, we're good. Okay, here I'll show you. Actually kind of jives with the other map I was looking at anyway, so. And there you go. So it basically just kind of has the same kind of idea. It just throws around some mesoscale bands somewhere. But the trend is the heavier parts here, northwest, moving into central, and then it dries it out northern Oklahoma a little bit more. It does dry out Tulsa a little bit more. Of course, it also dumps heavier snow now on the southeast side of town. So that's why I was saying the track was just a little different. The look to it was a little different. So just these little minor changes can make its output change just a little bit. But the take home is still the same. Nothing's changed there. We're just kind of fudging numbers here. But it's still going to be, like this for the body of the state for the really good stuff. So it's not bad. Pretty good little storm system, if you ask me. I'll take it. Okay, let me go through some questions, concerns, comments, feedback, praises, hate, trolls, love, acceptance, content. I'm getting into some preaching. We're going to do some relationship building tonight. You want to do some relationship building tonight? Trust me, I got plenty of information to help you build relationships quality. Took me a long time to learn them all. All right, let's see. Kendra's in the house on YouTube. I see you, girl. Hello. Outlaw fishing. He's not fishing tonight. Maybe he could do some ice fishing. Let's see. Gary's in the house from Cleveland, Oklahoma. Alicia's here. Jim's always is checking in. Good to see you. Clint, we interrupt this broadcast to count stars. I hear you. Why are we counting stars? So, Paige, that was on the Facebook Live. I do this on 3 different platforms. So it's Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitter Periscope. Now here on YouTube, they just have the super chat function that you can do. Let's see. But Kayla's from Choctaw and Kayla's from Norman checking in. Anita, I see you. So thanks again, guys, for checking in. On Periscope, if you guys had any questions or comments, I can't see them while I'm doing the thing live. But if you want to ask them again here real quick, I've got the feed loaded up. You can just type them in, and I'll come back and take a quick check on them. I couldn't broadcast my patron page tonight, the closed group Facebook page, because Facebook was being a punk. And they told me that I just didn't have access to my own page. And I spent 15 minutes trying to fix it, and it didn't get fixed. So I said, well, que sera.
Checking in.
All right. Que sera means what will be, will be. I learned that in Spanish class. I can't remember the Spanish teacher. Maybe it'll come to me when I'm thinking about it. It is in high school. Okay, so let me scroll up for your questions. They're fast and furious, so somebody's going to get cut off. But I'm on all these stars. I'm seeing them, so I can't thank you guys enough. Normally, I just give you a shout out for every single time, but we had we weren't ever going to do the weather if I didn't stop. So my apologies for not getting to everybody, but I do appreciate every single one, and I'll go back and like each one of them. Let's see. Emily wants to know if it'd be good to go to church in the morning. I'm just glad they actually have church in person. Now, again, I think the roads, it's hard to say when you go out. I mean, it depends on if you can drive in snow. Most people, you can. It's just the ice. The ice is the bad stuff, Now, if you have a low-profile vehicle and you get 4 inches of snow, obviously that's a problem. But remember, a lot of it's going to be melting on the roadways. Wes is trying to get 0 snow. Sorry, Wes, you're just going to have to eat this one. But don't make it yellow. Keep it white. Don't eat the yellow snow. Will there be enough snow to cover the rest of the broken trees still on the ground? We want to pretend it didn't happen for a day. Jennifer, man, listen. I had to kill both of mine. 15 years for both of them. A Bradford pear, which surprisingly even lasted 15 years. The other one was I think it was a Chinese elm or something. I can't even remember. And it was so glorious. Oh, and it had to go. I ripped the trunks out of the ground. They're all sitting on the side of the house, just sitting there. It's so sad. Anyway, gotta move on before I shed a tear. What about Tuesday? Brennan's late to the party, missed out. So 3 to 6 inches looking good for the Metro. David, yeah. I mean, we're talking 6 out there west, west of El Reno, Canadian County and up there. But unless some little band happens, but yeah, it's a pretty good range. Bren is late, so she's wanting a recap. So we're gonna do a recap here. Looks like Michaela wants the timeline. You people, where were you? We've been on the air for half an hour. Took me till today to figure out the stars. Jennifer, but you got them, though. Mama's coming in from New Mexico. She'll be coming to Mustang. What's her drive looking to be? Snowy and slow go. Bad time to travel from all the way out there. But again, some of those roads will be fine. It's just she'll probably hit some patches if she runs into a heavy burst of snow. So just tell her to be careful and call AAA if need be. Deborah wants to see me make a snow angel. I was talking to Jody about that. I said maybe I should just get out there. All right, so most of these questions are, recap, and Monday morning, since the roads will be so cold, any liquid on them will freeze. You'll probably have black ice on Monday morning in some areas. So be careful about that, because when you get temperatures in the teens or low 20s, that's hard enough to freeze it over pretty quick. All right, so let's get on with the quick recap. This will literally be like a 30-second recap. I was going to say recrap. I don't want recrap. And then we're going to get you back to your regularly scheduled programming. That's how we roll here. Okay, let's do this. I gotta set everything back up again. Okay, we'll do timing first. I'm gonna jump to totals, and that's it. This is a 1-2 punch. So here we go. This is at 2 o'clock in the morning, north and west Oklahoma. We start to see some snowfall move in. As we head into central Oklahoma, 5 a.m., rain-snow mix here in Oklahoma City. Rain down south, rain-snow mix up around probably even Ponca City and Stillwater. Quickly going over to snow up there. Enid, all snow. Northwest Oklahoma City, northwest Oklahoma itself, all snow. As we head into 6 a.m., you can see how that snow continues to move to east. It's now approaching Tulsa from the west at 7. Snow rain mix has now moved south of Norman, down around Paoli and Pauls Valley area. As we head into 8 a.m., you can see how that blue shading, which is the snow, continues to press to the east. So Tulsa's getting plenty of snow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Heavy snow here in Oklahoma City area. and some rain still down south and east. The rain snow line in purple moving through Lawton and McAllister here as we head into the 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock hour in the morning. Still heavy snow here across a good area of the state through noon tomorrow. It's noon, it's 12 o'clock. So heading into 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. You see how the snow continues to move off to the east. McAllister getting some snow down into southeast Oklahoma. Can you believe that? We've got a little bit of rain-snow mix down here in the purple shading, and plenty of snow around McAllister, Muskogee, and points east from there. And that's at 4 o'clock. Once we get 2 more hours after that, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you can see how the snow's starting to wind down. By 7 o'clock, only some flurries lingering out here in the south and east. And yes, even a little bit of rain-snow mix for Poteau and LaFleur counties. How about that? So you guys, I mean, almost the entire state getting some snow out of this deal. Now, it won't amount to anything down there, but it'd be nice to see for those folks. Okay, so that's a look at how it's going to progress timeline-wise. Again, the travel should be mostly fine until you get some of these heavier bands, and it may cover the roads for a little bit, but then the roads will remelt during the day. And then they'll freeze over at night. So again, by Monday morning, we're going to be really cold. Speaking of which, here's a look at those temperatures. So we'll be in the 30s all day tomorrow, low to mid 30s, kind of fluctuating. So sometimes at freezing, sometimes below, sometimes above. And then as we head into the morning hours, this model is not going to be as aggressive with the cold air. But if you notice here where it likes to really dump the snow for this output, it's got 18 degrees, 19, there's low 20s, 19. So there's going to be some teens in there depending on how much snow we see kind of scattered throughout the state. All right, snowfall amounts. This map right, where was it? We'll do this one. This is the amount of snow, anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of snow here in central Oklahoma and Oklahoma City. There's somewhere it's going to probably see 6, a pocket of it here in northwest. If they get into a mesoscale band, if that's where the mesoscale band sets up, it could set up just a little bit east of there. There's really no telling. Otherwise, a 3 to 5 is a good range. Keep in mind again, probably just a little bit of that will melt, but that's going to be our totals looks like. And then down south in Muskogee. Still a good amount of snow. Even McAllister, you guys getting some good snow. Lawton, some good snow. It's a couple inches. I'll take it. Of course, some heavy pockets up here northwest in the pink, which is about 6 inches or more. And then down south and east, a dusting down here in Ardmore, Wichita Falls even, down here in southeast Oklahoma, with the exception of the couple of counties down here in the far southeast as far as any measurable snow goes. That's it. So there is your recap of everything that's going to happen in the next 24 hours. So it's a good question. Lee, I see those clapping hands at 500 stars. Thanks, sir. Okay, so that was the end of that. Let me go one more round robin, and then I'm going to cut you loose. It's 10 o'clock, and I got a Canadian that's waiting on me. All right, where am I going? Going to YouTube again real quick. One more little peruse. Do you think the road's going to have ice Monday morning? Angelica wants to know. So, yes, there will be black ice in spots where you get those teens just because of the runoff, because the ground temperatures will melt things over. And so as the grass surfaces, have all the snow, as it melts, then that liquid then runs into the road and then freezes very quickly when you have temperatures in the teens at night, so or even low 20s. So just be careful out there Monday morning for traveling around. Go back to Facebook here real quick. Lee, you're welcome. I try to be the most accurate. So Mike was asking, what time does the snow start in Oklahoma City? You're going to have a rain-snow mix about 5 o'clock in the morning, sir. And then every hour after that, it just gets all snow. And so the changeover will be faster on the north and west side of town than it will be on the south and east side of town. But we're only talking about an hour or two at most. So I think by 7 o'clock in the morning, everybody's getting snow. You get snow. You get snow. Just going down the road. All right. Practice. So I'm going to recap. Cecilia, that's hard to say at this point in time as far as the roads on Tulsa on Tuesday. We still got to get through this one. Thanks, David. Yeah, KOCO-TV, that was a long time ago back in the day when I worked there. I left there in 2007. So 13 years removed. Thank God. Literally. Oh. No, it was a wonderful experience. Actually, it was part of a life experience. So it taught me a ton of stuff. I learned so much from that station and other stations prior to that. And that's what gave me the knowledge and the infrastructure to do what I do here. I built the TV studio in my own home. I mean, that's cool, you know. I mean, and I wouldn't have been able to done that if I didn't have all the experience and knowledge on what to look for, what to get, and all that stuff, and the broadcast quality. You know, everything you see here on the screen, there's a lot of production quality that goes into that. So it's, you know, I did it all myself. So you got to be to do what I've done. First, you got to be the scientist to know, you know, for the weather. But after that, you got to be know about production, promotion, content creation, all internet savvy, everything, social media, everything. And then you got that creative side on the development, just for the graphics and stuff, the looks. And I'm just like, my head at the end of the day just hurts. So I'm a rare breed, and I have the time to do it. That's really what it is. So, but you guys seem to respond. You enjoy it, and I enjoy helping you. So that's what I do, and been doing that for a long time. And I'll have my haters out there that they don't know me, obviously, and they just have hate in their hearts, and they just say stupid things. And I go in one ear and out the other because ain't nobody got time for that. I'm giving back to society. What are these trolls giving back to? Nothing. They're just running their mouth because they didn't have a mama that went whack. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. They didn't have one of those, and they didn't have the golden rule. So I can't harm them for that. That was just bad teaching as parenting skills back in the day when they needed a good whooping or a good talking to. So whoopings come out of favor, so you can't say that anymore. But back in my day, it was that biblical context taken out of context. The old spare the rod, spoil the child. It's gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. I'm like, oh no, it isn't. It's gonna hurt me way more. But anyway, so there's better ways to do things. But I ain't getting all that, so we'll leave that alone. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching tonight. I'm gonna get out of here. Like I said, I got a Canadian that's waiting on me, so I'm gonna get back to her. But I appreciate you guys watching. And when you get up in the morning, take lots of pictures, lots of video, have lots of fun. Take the family out there with the kids and throw some snowballs at them. And just enjoy it. That's what I'm going to do. All right, you guys have a good night. We'll talk soon. Bye.